Hi, this is Kristy Robinett of TangledWishes.com. If you saw my video yesterday, it was about toxic people and how they have affected me in the past and how they can affect you. And I sort of took that video and I took it one step forward. Every couple weeks, I write a blog, a newsletter that is called InSight. And I had written a little bit more about what to do if you've got toxic people in your life and how to see if that negativity, that toxicity is affecting you and when it might be time for you to step away from it. I got an awful lot of feedback from that, probably more so on that topic than on any other topic. And so I thought I wanted to take it one step forward and sort of talk to those that gave me a little bit of the negative feedback from it that I was really quite surprised about. Because I think that there was a misconception or a misinterpretation that I said that if there's toxic or negative people in your life, to abandon them. That's not at all what I said. What I actually said was to take that person's name and write it down. And then write down the adjectives next to that person's name and see if there's more cons or more pros. And how is it serving you? And how are you serving them? If you're wasting your energy time after time, day after day, and it's becoming exhausting and it's making you sometimes physically ill, then it might be time for you to actually step away. Not abandon, step away. So what does that mean? I am all for open communication and I'm all for calling them out, calling them for what they are. A lot of times we've got people in our life that are toxic or who are negative, and they're our relatives, or they can actually be your spouse or your ex-husband or your father, your mother, what have you. And what do you do then when you're forced to not, when you're forced to not turn around and run and never talk to them ever again? Absolutely. This is not a perfect world, and we have lessons to learn within it. And I think that sometimes, they even say that we choose our families when we come into this world, and possibly because how many dysfunctional families are there? And if you tell me that you're not in a dysfunctional family, then it's very, very rare. I have to say that almost everyone has a piece of a dysfunctional family. It might not be immediate, but there's some exterior to that. So, I kind of want to tell you a little blip of how I did it. Both my mom and dad, love them, love them, love them, but both my mom and dad were very negative. And when mom passed away, dad obviously became very concerned, upset. He felt like she abandoned him. There was a lot of emotions that went along, and he became even more negative than he was previously. And when we moved in together, I couldn't live that way. I had gotten away from a very negative relationship, and I had placed myself in a positive relationship. My kids were in a good place. My partner at the time, who became my husband, was in a good place, and I felt like I was vibrationally aligned. Unfortunately, I became imbalanced because my dad was not. So little by little, I introduced him to positive thinking without being all new agey and say, hey, throwing law of attraction phrases at him. It wouldn't have flown at all. But little by little, I killed him with kindness. And when he was being negative, I would tell him, it's affecting me. I'm sick because you're doing this. I do not, I don't appreciate you bringing that negativity. And I did it in a nice, kind, loving way. I did. It wasn't in a critical way. And I think that that's really, really important. Little by little, time after time, and I would say after a couple of years that things really started to turn around. Yeah, it's not going to be overnight. So I don't want you guys to think that I said, abandon everyone that's not happy, because that's not it. But I think, I did it on a little bit of a new agey way where I pour those negative people, those toxic people, I pour rose colored light around them. And I ask their angels and their guides to assist them. I ask my angels and my guides to assist them. I just don't, run tail between my legs. Have I wanted to? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not that type of a person to do that. My point of my insight was that if you have no cheerleaders in your life, you've got to be your own cheerleader, and then you've got to go out and find people that are like you. If you're having a lot of negative people in your life, you want to look at the mirror and see why you are attracting those types of people. So I hope that makes some sort of sense. If you have not subscribed to InSight, then please go to tangledwishes.com and subscribe to the newsletter. There's a click right down at the bottom of the website. Real easy. I promise I don't spam you. And you can unsubscribe at any time that you want to. So have a great day. It's almost the weekend.